Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. Before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give you guys all a shout out for all the love and support that you continue to show the show. I truly appreciate you guys, of course, to Rogue Media Network with Mike and Mason are out there right now producing this episode. Thank you guys so much for all you do for me behind the scenes. I truly appreciate it. And I don't know, I'm kind of digging the new aesthetic of the room, right? It's like super nighttime vibes. Like my guests might slide in my DMs after this. Listen, I'm in. I'm totally in for this. And then we got the candles. I was like, wait a minute. This is taking a different direction than I thought. Listen, anyway, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by my boy David Santabañez with Alinea Real Estate. He's the #1 sales agent in his office, darling. That's right. He'll help you buy a home or sell your property. We worked together this year to look for my dream home. We're still looking. I'm not done just yet. All right. Follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea. Call the number on the screen. He's going to have you doing absolutely right. Call him today. David, thank you so much for being a longtime sponsor of The Public Affair. Oh my goodness. Of course, to Anika Armstrong with Pee Wee's Crab Cakes of Texas, which is giving definitely dinner vibes. Yes, serving the most authentic Cajun cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. Now, my favorite, of course, is the Krabby Seafood Pasta. I'm obsessed. Their brunch options are absolutely unrivaled. This mimosa's going to be having you slide in DMs. Best Cajun in town. 108 Jim Drive in Hewitt, or order online at peeweescrabcakesoftexas.com. To my girl, Nika Armstrong, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Arturo's Frame with my boy Arturo, my girl Eva de la Cruz. They do wood framing for houses and all remodeling. Listen, they'll even help you build a home from the ground up. If you want that new dream home that you've been dreaming of your whole entire life, they're going to help you make that come to fruition. Hablan inglés y español también. Call the number on the screen for a free in-town consultation or follow on Facebook at Arturo's Frame. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Joseph Blancas with JB Auto Detailing. That's right, he's got my new car looking super snackish. He provides mobile detailing for all of Waco and the surrounding area. That's right, the surrounding area, promising 100% satisfaction guaranteed, leaving your vehicle looking brand spanking new and absolutely fresh. He's got different packages. Follow on Facebook at JB Auto Detailing and check out his website at jbautodetail.net and book today. To Joseph Blancas, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, I can't go on without thanking my boy Juan Morales with Waco Fencing and stuff. Now listen, Juan builds privacy fences and chain link fences. Perfect for all that extra at-home privacy. It's that thing that your house is missing. You never know. And then you want to go outside, walk around in types of ways. And Juan Morales in the fence, okay? He also does demolitions, builds wood decks, stone patios, and gorgeous flower beds. Contact him with the number on the screen for your consultation. To my boy Juan Morales, thank you so much for being a longtime sponsor of The Public Affair. I truly appreciate you, bro. And listen, I'm doing all my ads staring at myself in the monitor because I don't know, right? Isn't this room? It's different. Normally, all my other episodes, it's like a little brighter. And we turned the lights off today because Mike got me some candles for you, Austin. Listen, I'm so excited to be having my next guest here onto the show today, you guys. Now, this person, when I first moved to Texas, was the first person I ever met in Texas. I cannot believe that more than 15 years later, he is sitting here on my show. He's had his own things going on in life that I'm super excited to dive deep into. Not into him, just into it. Okay? He's looking completely different than when I met him in high school back in Lorena, when I first moved to this damn state. Listen, I'm just so grateful to finally welcome Mr. Austin Montgomery, who's the owner of several businesses in town, including the Roof Company and now host of his own podcast, The Growth Encounter. How you doing?
Man, I am doing great. Glad to be here.
Thank you for waiting 3 years for me to invite you on here.
I know. I mean, it's only been a hot minute.
It's been a whole minute. You always sliding in the DMs, and I was excited when you were first doing it.
When you gonna bring me on?
Listen, in due timing. You know, a lot of people have waited a long time to come on the show, and now my show is just doing that now. You know what I mean?
It's like you got a wait list now.
I do have a wait list now, and I'm gonna start hiring assistant. I'd be forgetting about people. You know, it's true. I'm so sorry if I ever forgot about you. If you reached out to me again, please. Okay, well, you know, the rappers, they all, so, they do. I have one rapper on the show, and then my fucking DMs are flooded for a month.
Right.
And nobody wants to sleep with me to be on the show. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do that. I thought that's what show business was. They just want to be on the show. They just want to be on the show for their shine. But how bad do you want to be on the show?
Right.
You know, that only happened once. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Listen, Austin, I'm so excited to have you here on the show. Like I said, our relationship, I feel like, holds a special significance because when I first moved to Texas from New York, you were the very first person I ever met in the school bus on my way to Lorena Heights. I don't even know why I was over there. Yeah. Right? It was such culture shock to me, and you can't even imagine, you know? But it's so funny because Austin will tell you, too, when I was in high school, I deepened my voice because I didn't want anybody to know that I was gay. Yeah. Right? Do you remember that?
I do.
Yes.
Okay. Like you would have never known.
I would have never never. Yeah.
Never.
Did I play
I
you
mean, I
guys?
didn't know.
Did
I
I
mean,
play? So I did play you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was
or
like,
is it because you guys were naive and it's a small town?
probably naive.
Yeah.
It is probably very. I'd say 90% naive.
Yeah. No, for sure. Was there anybody suspect in school though that you can remember that maybe I would have had a chance
Absolutely
with?
not.
No, you don't think so?
Like not.
No,
I mean,
some of the teachers were kind of fine too. Like,
yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like,
like
you wouldn't. I can't even think of anybody. Like I was
really?
like, it
was
wasn't-
anybody gay in high school when we were in high school?
No.
Really? Are you sure?
Well, not that I know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think we were naive to it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 15 years ago.
But do you think that being from Lorena, it wasn't as exposed to?
Yeah. I think it was
do
the
you think that's
exposure.
what it was? Okay.
Like we knew about it, but like it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't like.
But nobody was being gay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could tell people, hey, like, dude, you're being gay. Come on.
No. But I wonder, like, listen. Okay, so we had PE together. I remember that too, and there was
Right.
definitely a guy in our PE class that I wanted to crawl over his white body. I can't fucking remember him.
I will have to bring. Do you have the yearbook?
No, I don't, because I only went to that school for like 3 months. But I remember there being one guy in that school.
What grade was this?
We were in 9th grade. We were freshmen because that's when I moved to Texas.
I will find the yearbook.
Yes, go find the fucking yearbook and send me every single. Listen, there was only like 10 of us in that damn school.
Were they in the same grade?
Yes. He was like super bulky. I remember that. He was super bulky.
We didn't have very many bulky people in ours.
No, but he was like big and fucking bulky. And I don't think he played football though, because I think he was like an emo.
White guy?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys were all white. Everybody was fucking white in that school. And then even the black people were white. It was so wild. It was. Listen, you guys, I'm telling you, listen, I have a lot of different kinds of guests on this show. The majority of them are from Waco,
Right,
South
right.
Waco, North Waco, East Waco. Okay, and then and then I graduated from Midway ultimately. But when I moved to Lorena, it was like so wild to me how all of you guys it was like white. It was, you know what I mean? Even the 2 black people that were in there were white as snow. And I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a fair statement. I'm not trying to be judgmental. You guys
No. I get it.
Listen, Austin, I have to say too,
Yeah.
you were very kind to me. I'll never forget. You were very nice to me. Everybody was very nice to me in that school.
Right,
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, we were just like, we were separated from the city, man.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I mean, Lorena's like becoming Midway now, but
for sure, it's like right there now.
Yeah.
I hit your mic. I'm sorry. It's like right there now.
Yeah.
And so, but it seemed like it was so far away when
Yeah.
it was there because like we couldn't walk to the store.
Yeah.
No, nothing like. What was life for you like growing up in Lorena?
Like, I mean, country life, man. Like,
like, did you grow up on a farm? No, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
like,
we grew up on some land, and we had cows at one point in time, chickens,
Okay.
pigs, you name it, and I mean chickens going across the road and
Really?
everything like that.
I know. My aunt
on a
still
gravel road. We lived on a gravel
Yeah,
road.
no, I remember dropping
Yeah.
you guys off. And my aunt still lives out there in Lorena. That's
Yeah.
why we lived out there. And when I drive to her fucking house, is dogs outside.
Yeah,
And they
yeah, you gotta like watch out for them.
You do, because they're not moving out of the way.
No, and they won't.
Yeah.
They own the road.
Oh, yeah, they do. It's so wild to me. So life in Lorena, listen, this is why I like having people like this show, number one, because like I have such a diverse group of guests on the show, right? And
Yeah.
then like, I had the other country white boy, Dakota, who I love, Dakota Wimberly, who I loved on this show.
Right.
Yeah, and who got a lot of backlash for being on the show because my gay ass and I was flirting with him. But hello, if you would have seen Dakota Wimberly, you would have flirted with him too.
Right.
He's fine as fuck. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's a bad thing to say a dude looks good, or a woman
Right.
to say a woman looks good. Like it's
So,
not,
Austin, am I fine? Is that what you're
I
saying?
mean, you're a good looking dude, man. You're not.
Listen, I'm not.
I don't even think people are ugly, honestly. Like,
Right.
I think if you're sitting there judging people and saying they're ugly, I'm like, man, I ain't got time to judge people.
Well, that's very nice of you. But if a bitch comes at me, I'm gonna tell the bitch she's ugly as fuck.
Well, so I did that one time.
Yeah, did you?
I did that
Did
at
you get
Billy
beat
Bob's,
up?
Texas. Oh yeah, she punched me in the face.
Oh shit.
It was the first date I ever had with
Is
my
that
wife.
grounds to? Oh really?
Yeah.
What?
Story time.
Did you punch her back in the face though? No.
No,
Yeah.
my wife wasn't. She was my girlfriend at the time.
She
but
was your girlfriend at the time.
so
Yeah.
we go up to Billy Bob's, and a buddy
Yes.
of mine was like, "Oh, that's my ex," and she comes up and like, no offense, but she had a crop top on and
Yeah.
like her whole belly was hanging out, and I was just like, "Hey, that's not the best look." And she's like. And she got all mad. And,
Right.
And I was like, and I understand her being mad. I mean, do what you want.
Was there a
body
reason,
positivity.
What prompted you to go up to her and say that though?
I didn't. She came up to me and was like, just being really outrageous about things.
Oh, I got you.
And
Okay.
she is like, well, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna hit you. I said, well, do it then.
Oh my God.
And I mean, she reared back and she
did. Now,
punched
did
me
the
in the
girlfriend,
face.
did she jump in? Or your wife?
No, she didn't. She was in the bathroom at the time.
Oh.
But like, I deserved it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was young and stupid.
I got you.
But I wouldn't say that now to somebody.
No,
unless
for sure.
they prompted it.
Well, people
being a jerk.
People judge me all the time, so I'm gonna judge them back. I'm gonna fuck.
Oh, dude, I get judged all the time.
Isn't it wild?
Town.
It's so fucking crazy.
But I don't care.
I know. I want to go back to being gay in Lorena. No, there has to have been somebody that you thought.
Dude,
was
I cannot for the life of me. Like I'm rolling through all the people that were in our class, and I can't think.
I
of one
wonder
person.
if I would have been like out at that time, right? If I would have been able to turn somebody, because there was a lot of potentials in there in that school. I have to say, there was a lot of good looking guys in that school when we were in school together, and I was like that played football.
Yeah,
but those were the sus ones. It can't be that different. Like,
you know what's crazy is most of the people that we went to school with, I don't even see them on social media. So like I don't.
Oh really? Do you keep up with anybody or?
I mean, I keep up with a few of them.
Yeah,
but hardly any of them are on social media like I am.
Okay.
So I mean that's the way.
Well,
I
they
keep
probably
up
still don't know what social media is if they're living in Lorena.
Yeah.
How was your family life for you growing up, Austin? Like your family dynamic and everything. Can you just talk to us a little bit about your background and stuff like that? So because a lot of my viewers are probably like, "Who the fuck is this?" Right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, so I was born in Fort Worth,
okay,
and my parents separated when I was like 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't. I don't even remember it.
Right.
And then I lived with my mom until my dad moved back down here to Waco,
mm-hmm.
and I've known my stepmom. She's basically my mom.
Right.
She's known me since I can remember. Right.
For sure.
And so I've got my dad, my stepmom, and then I've got my mom and my stepdad, and then I've got 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
Yeah.
And but I lived in Fort Worth until 4th grade. I moved down here in 5th grade.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and made the decision to move to my dad's. Mom wasn't really happy about it.
Really?
But,
okay.
I got the choice.
Yeah.
At that time, and so moved down here.
What was that all about though? Because a lot of times, like in most instances, it would seem like the kids would stay with the mother. You know what I mean? So why did you get the option? Did they give you that option or?
I think by law at that time you got the option at that age.
Okay.
To choose like you wanted to live with your mom or dad or whatever.
Right.
And for me, like, I loved hunting and fishing and being out in the country, and so I moved down here with my dad.
Oh, that's why you did that.
I was living up in the city.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that I didn't like it, but it didn't fit me.
No, I got you. Okay. Did that build resentment with your mother? Do you guys have a good relationship now?
Yeah.
Or? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we all have. All 4 of my parents, we have a good relationship.
Yeah. Are they the type of modern family now where they're all friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Used to not.
No, that's what's up.
Part of it, like
they were fighting and shit.
Yeah, they used to fight like all the time, but
really,
then it's like,
okay.
I was like, y'all either got to get over the shit or.
That's it. Yeah. So was life for you growing up? Was there any hardships or anything that you had to deal with out there? Or?
I mean, the parental drama that you usually deal with separated parents.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I don't have any trauma in my life that I had to deal with.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I was a good kid, and did my thing, and I lived a good childhood.
Okay, that's what's up. You know what? I have a really good question for you because and this is just me being just naive and stupid, right?
Yeah.
So seeing it from the outside and you growing up in Lorena and it's just like farm life and it seems like that's what everybody does, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So obviously now you own several different businesses. You're like this huge entrepreneur in town, and I feel like a lot of people actually do know you. You know what I mean? Like we have a lot of mutual Facebook friends and social media followers and blah blah blah. How did you find that direction to take to kind of veer off into the city life essentially? You know what I mean? Because you're doing business here like in South Waco and you have an office in Franklin. You know what I mean? So what did you do that was different?
Man, so I have always been a worker.
Yes.
Right? And like I started working my 8th grade summer.
Okay.
And I worked 40 hours, if not more, a week, all through high school.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I didn't play any sports.
Okay.
And I barely, I graduated the back 10% of my class, not the top 10%.
Listen, but he says that, but there's really only 50 kids in our class,
yeah.
Right? Okay.
But
so you were the top 10%.
No, seriously, dude, there was there was 113 people, and I was like 108 or something.
Yeah,
Okay. But I don't it's a number,
Yeah, for sure.
That's the way I look at it.
For sure.
But for me, I got ahead in life.
Okay.
By my work ethic.
Yes.
I skipped college.
Okay.
I worked and worked several different businesses, and eventually went on with my family's business, and I grew their business.
Yes.
And then
now this is Montgomery construction, right?
Yeah.
Which we're gonna get into in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, dude, so back in 2020, I went to an event in St. Louis, and I'll tell you, this is where my life changed. Was going to this event, and it like sparked a whole new thing in my life. And I was like, I gotta go after it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
was it dudes? Was it dudes?
Huh? Yeah, no.
I was gonna say, was it
definitely not.
Experimenting in St. Louis?
No. No, I went to a growth, like a business growth event.
Okay, I got you.
And it was a mindset type thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And I came back and I tried to promote it and bring that culture back into the company I was in.
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody refused it.
Oh, they weren't having that.
Yeah, they were like, no.
Well, a lot of them are probably set in their ways, though, right? Don't you think?
They're very comfortable.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
They're not prone no, honestly, because like you guys from the country living and all that stuff, it seems like a lot of people are just kind of reserved to their ways. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, and I wouldn't say it's so much country living, because like, dude, I still live out in the country. I live on 8 acres. I've got cows.
Yeah.
You know, I still live that life, and you know, but dude, you'll see me dressed some days in jeans and boots, and then you'll see me in my built gear.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it just really depends on the day, what I feel like.
Yeah,
you know, I don't classify myself as a city person or a country boy. Like, I'm just me.
Yeah, you're just doing
that's just who the hell I am.
Listen, that's just me being judgmental, though.
Yeah.
Stop it. Because,
I know. You know.
Listen, from New York, we didn't have country. Like, not in Long Island. We had the beach everywhere. And then I moved fucking here. And I was like, what is it? Listen, you guys even like, and I have to say, too, you just look different. Yeah. From 15 years ago.
This is a product of my wife.
Okay, I got you. Well, shout out to her, because Austin used to be like the Wrangler, right?
Yep.
Or the fucking cowboy boots and the shirt.
I mean, I still got it, and I still wear it.
That's great, but that's how you all dressed, and I was not dressing that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was so wild to me. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of bringing back a lot of memories, you know? And I just have to know that somebody. I
should have wore that today.
You should have fucking wore that today. I don't know why you did not.
A cowboy hat.
And listen, I just know somebody was curious for me. I just know they were, and I really want you to just tell me who it was. Okay, so you know, you take the business route of things, okay? Yep. And you get into business with Montgomery Construction, which I definitely want to get into. But you know, a conversation that I really wanted to touch with you on before we continue was, and I was thinking about this on the way up here. I never really asked the guys who own these, you know, you're a business owner and there's probably a lot on your shoulders. How does that affect you being a family man? Like, how do you ever feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulder? I mean, because you are a dad too, right? Yes. And so how much of a burden is that on you because do you feel like you have the role to have to keep it together all the time?
Man, I'll tell you. So, you know, a lot of people talk about a work-life balance, right? You hear that term a lot.
Yes.
I worked for my family's business for 6 years.
Okay.
Right. And when I came, I left a big company.
Right.
And I told my dad, I was like, hey, I'm going to start a roofing company. He's like, hey, well, I've already got a business. Why don't you just come on with me and we'll, you know, do our thing. Well, in the first year, I did like $1.2 million. And over a span of 6 years.
Yes.
I grew us from $1 million to $12 million.
Oh, my.
And we had several employees, had a big office, everything like that. But the problem was, it was my family's business.
Yes.
And I had another family member involved. I had a brother there. And a lot of us just weren't. So alignment, I don't know if you've heard your alignment is your assignment, right? Okay. And we weren't in a line. Dude, I was working 60, 80 to 100 hours a week. Working for a company for other people that it wasn't mine.
It wasn't yours, yeah.
I was growing something. So many people thought that I owned Montgomery Construction.
Yeah, I did till fucking 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, because how much I promoted it and how much what I did with it and grown it.
And you're a Montgomery.
You know, and I was a Montgomery.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I was working, and I got married when I was working there.
Yeah.
I had my first child and second child while I was working there. And dude, like, I look back on times I was in the hospital with my wife and with my second child.
Yeah.
And dude, I was freaking working. I say this myself. One of them.
How many kids do you have right now?
I have 2 kids.
You have 2 kids.
A boy and a girl.
Okay.
But I was working.
Wow.
While she was I was sitting next to her while she was having contraction stuff. I was sitting there.
Right.
And I'm like, I look back and I'm like, man, I'm such an asshole.
Right. Okay.
You know?
But at the time, you weren't really thinking about all that, though, right?
Well, I was thinking about that, but I wasn't that wasn't my priority.
Yeah,
my priority was the business, and honestly, I was doing it for other people. I was trying to please other people.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so I went to that event, in January of 2020, and like I was like, I gotta focus. What's my why? And my why is people.
Okay.
You know, my why is not to have these businesses. These businesses I have are just my tool to help me execute my why.
Okay, I see.
Right?
Yes.
And so after that, I was like, man, I've got to really nail down, and my why is my family and people in the community. And so I made some offers to my family to buy the business because I knew we didn't align on how we were doing things, and I knew I wouldn't get where I needed to be if we were still, if I wasn't in I wouldn't say control, but if I wasn't controlling the ship or steering it.
Yes,
right.
for sure. Okay.
And so throughout like a year and a half span, we never could come to terms. So finally, I just washed my hands of it and said, hey,
that's it.
Y'all go your way.
Okay.
Y'all do your thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to go my way and do my own thing.
No, that's it.
And they turned my offers down, and it's okay. Yeah. And I'm fine with that. It was the best no that I ever received.
Okay, gotcha.
Because now my wife and I are doing our own thing. We've got our own businesses, and like my family life, my marriage, my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my kids are like tenfold better.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that all of that would have failed if you would have?
I don't think it would have failed.
Okay.
I think it would have been a big strain on it.
Yeah.
Because my focus again wasn't them, right? And now that I was able to step away from that, I was able to focus on them. And like even now, dude, I work from 7:30 to 5 sometimes. Like, like I don't pull the hours I used to pull.
No,
because
definitely.
It'll all be there tomorrow.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I
tell that to everybody too. I still work a regular job as well, and you know, I mean, I'm not giving them more time than I've obligated. So, you know what I mean? Because the rest of it goes to the public affair. But you know, I wonder, and I asked you that question because you know, we kind of, not that the show is about mental health, because it's not, but it's about me being a slut. But you know, we touched a lot on mental health, and like I would say, the majority of my guests are Hispanic men. I wonder if the same pertains to you as a Caucasian man, if it's something that you have ever had to deal with, you know, again, being so stressed, because I'm sure like running all these businesses and stuff is daunting, to say the least.
Yes. And I'll tell you what creates a lot of that stress is we create our own damn stress.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I created all my own stresses, right? And we put it on our shoulders as men to say like, hey, I've got to be the man of the family, and I've got to do this and I got to do that.
Right.
Well, sometimes we don't have to carry that weight.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And for me, I've got a great partner, my wife, that helps carry that weight. Yeah. Right. And we carry the load together.
Oh, that's what's up.
And like, man, I don't. You know, sometimes I don't carry that stress anymore.
No, for sure. And sometimes I don't want to be the one that cuts the grass. Like, who the fuck wants to cut grass? And then you have 8 acres. Now, who's really cutting your grass?
I hire somebody to do it.
No, you know, it's not like that because I don't know.
Well, like honestly, dude, like we looked at that, right? Like, would I rather spend a little extra money to pay somebody to do that? That way, I can take that time and spend with my family. Listen,
I have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and I pay somebody to clean.
Right. Hey,
I do, because I don't fucking want to deal with it. I want to do the show. When I get home, I want to fucking clean house. But then I also don't have a wife, Austin, and I don't have a husband, and nobody wants to be with me.
One day it'll
no,
get
it's not. I'm 31 years old. Fuck it. It's not gonna happen.
You're gonna have cats and just.
I don't want no damn cats. I don't want to go home and feed anything.
Dogs?
No, I don't. Nothing. No, I have a PS5.
A PS5. You just feed it games.
No. Oh my God. Listen, Austin. I want to get more into all your businesses and such. I know that there was some friction that happened with Montgomery construction, which I wanted to talk about on the show because I feel like it molds you into the business person that you are now. Yeah. And so much more that I want to get into. And of course, your new podcast, The Growth Encounter. But before we do all that, we're going to take a quick break. So don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to be right back with Mr. Austin Montgomery here on The Public Affair. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying my very special episode with my very special friend, Mr. Austin Montgomery. Before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode was brought to us by Julian and Ana Banda with Banda's Hauling Service. They rent dump trailers. You fill it up and they haul it away. They also do junk removals, tree brush removals, and haul cars in and out of town. Now listen, I don't know if they're going to haul that man who ain't paying no damn bills in that house out of there, but you can ask him and I bet he'll do it. He's got that big ass trailer too for that big ass man. Book now at the number on the screen to Banda's Hauling Service with Julian and Ana Banda. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Francisco Magdaleno with Magdaleno Drywall Solutions, specializing in all drywall services, both residential and commercial. He also specializes in interior and exterior paint, sheetrock, and so much more. He even said on the show, because he was on the show, that if they get a little bit sweaty, they might take their shirts off. So ladies, call him right now with the number on the screen to Magdaleno Drywall Solutions. I know I'm doing so as well. I'm going to make sure the heater is on so that way they can get undressed while they're doing the work. Call the number on the screen to book today. Magdaleno Drywall Solutions. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Mr. Manny Guerrero at Blue Star RV Services. He's a mobile RV tech who can fix all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, you name it. Let me tell you guys something right now. I know you guys buy those brand new RVs and they be breaking in a week. That's why you got to call Blue Star RV Services with Manny Guerrero. He deals with all the warranty companies as well. So you don't have to deal with all that. Just pay him a small fee. He's going to take care of the rest of it. Follow on Facebook or call the number on the screen to Blue Star RV Services. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Hugo Garcia with G-Boss Party Rentals. Hit him up for all party rentals, including bounce houses, dunk booths, water slides, and so much more. Oh my goodness, he even has a mechanical bull that I'm going to ride on and do a live video for. That's what I'm going to show you guys what I got going on with here, okay? Call the number on the screen and follow on Facebook at G-Boss Party Rentals. Hugo Garcia, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Make sure you guys contact him today for your next party rental. And of course, to Mr. Sid Rodriguez, located at Elite Barbershop on Hewitt Drive. You can call them on the screen to book or download the Squire app. Walk-ins are welcome as well. He also has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, and Isai over there making you look super snackish like I have for more than 145, 46, 47 episodes of The Public Affair. I don't remember, okay? And you know, I'm going for the natural hair look today too. As you guys can see that there is no product in my hair. But of course, Elite Barbershop is going to make sure I look super snackish for all my episodes of The Public Affair. Thank you so much, Sid, for sponsoring this episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, we're going to get right back into it with my very good friend, Mr. Austin Montgomery, who's here on The Public Affair. Now Austin, you know, I wanted to ask you too, and I fucking had this on the tip of my tongue and I forgot. But you know, okay, Lorena, small town, right? And everybody, you know, for the most part, it seems like they're stuck in their way. Okay. Yeah. You kind of became really well connected in the city, right? Mm-hmm. Like I said, it was shocking to me to see how many of the same type of people we follow us and that we're connected with in the city. You know what I mean? How did you do that? Coming from Lorena, because you don't like want to talk to nobody, right? Yeah. So what?
Man, so you know, I'm like total opposite of a lot of people my age or even the older people. Like, dude, you see me, like I'm on social media every day.
Yes, you
I
are.
usually post every day.
Yes, you are.
Right, and I'm a networker.
Yes.
And so, dude, like ever since I've been in school, you know, I was kind of reserved in school.
Yeah.
But then when I got out and started getting in the business world, I like really started connecting with people.
Yeah.
I connected with a lot of older people.
Okay.
And that's what kind of really grew me. But here in the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years, man,
you've been going hard.
I'm like going hard.
Yeah.
Like connected all over the country to different people.
No, for sure. You've been going super hard. You know, a lot of people don't think that I was antisocial in high school as well, and I really was. Yeah. And nobody believes me because now I have The Public Affair and I'm like the social butterfly. You know what I mean? But it's so weird.
There's times though, there's times like I don't want to talk to a damn person.
Oh yeah, same. Being a people person is horrible.
Yeah.
Isn't it terrible?
Like,
I can't stand it.
After a while, I'm like, yes. I'm done.
Listen, it's got its good qualities, but sometimes I just don't want to be bothered, right? And now I live on a calendar, and it's like annoying.
Well, I don't live on a calendar.
Well, I fucking do. I have like a list of people that
But you're forgetting all these people that want to come on your podcast.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. No, okay, so listen, I will say, Austin, don't do me on my show. I'll smack the shit out of you. They're gonna get no. I have a list of people that have wanted to come on the show,
right?
And I will say, in the beginning, I did keep that list updated regularly. And now I haven't. And so, because now it's full of like events, hostings and stuff like that, which I'm very blessed. I'm very happy for. You know what I mean? And I do have a reminder set on my phone right now to call this fucking person to come on the show. And it's been like that since Monday. But every day I know I'm going to call this person, but I really just want to set time aside to call this person. Right, you know what I mean? Right. Oh, anyway.
Dude, so you need to get like Calendly. It's like called Calendly.
Oh, okay.
And all they got to do is like go on your schedule.
Yeah.
And you have these time slots.
Oh, and they post
and
it.
They select the time, and then it allows you to call them.
I'm going to do that for DMs.
There you go.
Yeah, for the guy. Like,
all you got to do is say, hey, here you go.
When do you want to come over?
Schedule your time.
Calendly. Hello. Okay, I'm going to tell them, hey, go on. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Go on Calendly and let me know when you want to come over and fuck me. And then we get, right? And then and then I'll be like, oh, wait, I'm sorry, I can't go today to work out because I'm having a dick appointment at 6 o'clock. Has guys ever slid in your DMs, Austin? I'm wondering.
No. Absolutely
never. You're lying. You're such a fucking liar.
I swear
to God.
You
are such a liar. I don't believe you for a second. I don't.
I swear. I've never even had a girl like slide into, besides like those spam ones from like China and stuff like that. I'm like, man, at least you're making me feel a little bit better here. But
once has a guy.
Never once.
From Lorena, Wago, never. Listen, I'm not saying have you ever done it.
No, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Like I see these dudes like post like they're like, man, I've got all these girls like reaching out to me. I'm like, I've never had a girl reach out to me. Nope. The only girl that's ever reached out to me is my wife.
So are you in the one and done club?
Oh no.
Okay,
no,
so
no.
you were flirtatious back in the day. You had your experimentation. No, that's okay to say back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Listen,
she knows.
Yeah, they had nothing else to do in fucking Lorena except fuck.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted to F me. Well, they probably did. And
I mean,
listen, you know what? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're
Okay.
gonna go through that yearbook, and together we're gonna meet for dinner, and I'm gonna tell you,
Which-
who was the kid in PE that
We're gonna call him out.
No, I don't name names, but I will say that I think this one might have been.
I am very curious at who this person is.
I got this. Listen, let me tell you something. Especially from Lorena, I knew somebody was curious. I just know they were. You guys.
They could have been.
Nothing better to do. Okay. All right, everybody.
We had a Bush's Chicken. That was it.
That was
and a Sonic.
Did we even have Bush's Chicken? Yeah, we did.
It was
yes,
Chicken
we did.
Express.
And it was Chicken Express, and now it was Bush's Chicken.
And then Sonic.
Yeah, you guys didn't have shit. Listen, there was nothing going on in the arena. I know that somebody was sus over there. Okay, listen. Okay, so you became well connected. Okay, so I really want to get into the Montgomery construction. Now you're the roof company. Okay, the roof company is yours. You own a roof company that is yours, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, my wife.
Well, your wife.
Yeah.
You and your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What? Montgomery construction, when people see it, like you mentioned, they would automatically assume that you are associated with it. I did too. On my way to work, I saw Montgomery construction splashed on somebody's truck. Side note, he was cute. The guy who was driving was hot. I just don't know who it was. Red truck. But
red truck.
Red truck.
I'll figure out who
red
it is.
truck. It was a red truck. No. Excuse me. It was silver. It was red or silver. I can't remember because I was staring at him. But anyway, what happened with the whole situation? What's going on there?
Man, it's like I said. At the end of the day, we just didn't align.
Okay.
We didn't align with our core values. We didn't align with where we wanted to go. Like, man, I have dreams and I have aspirations. I have things I want to do, right? And you can have dreams, or you can be working for somebody else's dreams.
Yes.
And I was working for somebody else's dreams and dreams that they really didn't, know what they wanted. And that's fine.
That's fine.
They didn't want to grow like I wanted to grow.
Okay.
Right. And that's okay. And at the end of the day, it just was, and this was with my parents, because ultimately at the end of the day, they owned it.
Yes.
And they just didn't want to keep that burden anymore.
Okay.
And I honestly think they let me leave, knowing that I was going to be okay.
That you were going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you say that there were some people there that weren't holding the same core values as you, though, do you think that people were mistreating other people and you weren't down with that, or?
No, just when I say core values, like, with how you treat people, how you manage people.
Yes.
So yeah, along with what you're saying, and then the alignment of where we were going, and I had a family member that was working there, and at the end of the day, it was gonna end up being split between him and I if something happened to my parents.
Right.
And I wasn't kosher with it.
Oh, okay.
And so, not that he's a bad person. It just him and I didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's like, hey, y'all give it to him and let him do his thing.
So you guys do this thing. Did the cost strain in your family though? Because I mean, I love talking about this because a lot of people are becoming entrepreneurs now, and a lot of people are getting into business. And I just had this conversation with a really good friend of mine. They're going into business together as friends. Yeah. And now things are getting a little dicey. And I was like,
so somebody put it to me perfectly, right? Yes. You can put yourself in the hurt circle, or you can stand right outside of it. Like, I can still love them from a distance, but I don't have to be so immersed with those people that, like, I can get in the hurt zone again and allow them to either take advantage of me or, hurt me in a way. Not physically, but emotionally, right?
For sure.
And because there's a lot of things that put a lot of strain on my life going through what I went through.
Yes.
And, I haven't spoke to my brother in 2 years.
Right.
And it's fine. And it's because at the end of the day, a lot of things that he said to me, that were very hurtful that I've never, like, I had things said to me that I've never said to a person in my life.
Right.
Right.
Like, can you tell us?
I was called a POS.
Okay.
I was called a bad husband. Okay. I was called a bad father.
And this is all just like because of work shit.
And it was because of work.
Yeah.
And things could have been said out of anger. But there's never been a time where that person's come back to me and said, "Hey, some of the things I said were way out of line."
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
And like I said, he's not a bad person.
Right.
I still love him as my brother, but because we don't see eye to eye, and I keep my distance.
Right. Well,
you know,
I don't blame you. Listen,
I keep my distance from drama.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
And I've been open about this on the show. I haven't spoken to my only brother in 7 years because he's in jail. And it's the story I have not told that everybody keeps fucking asking me, right? And it's just deeper than what he did. You know what I mean? Like to get in jail. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It's just the type of person that you are. And I think a lot of people, especially in our family, and speaking for you as well, maybe, they say you're not allowed to be that way with your brother. Like you have to always forgive each other. Do you feel that way? I don't.
I've had several people tell me like, man, that's blood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I have friends that have treated me way better in my life.
Yeah.
Like
why do you have to objectify or subject yourself to that? Yeah, for sure.
Know? And so I've somewhat become the black sheep of the family.
Okay.
I don't get the support from a lot of our family members and the family friends, in my business.
Right.
And that's okay. I don't need it. I'm going to keep doing my thing. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things that were said about me, like I was the bad person. And I'm not saying they were the bad person.
Right.
The whole situation was just a mess. Right.
Do people think that you were like betraying Montgomery Construction when you decided to go into business on your own?
Yeah, there was a lot of things said.
Yeah.
That and like I said, it could have been said out of anger.
Right.
There was a lot of times that things were said about me just like making fun of me for the things I was doing in my business and and that's why I just keep my distance.
I don't know. I feel like when people say shit like that, though, they really mean it, low key.
They could.
Like, I don't feel like things are just said out of anger. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah.
And that's where I'm like, that's why I'm gonna keep my distance.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't care what time it is, like how much time goes past. Like, I'm doing my thing now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
And so
sometimes you have to like remove yourself.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And and it's hard too. You know what I mean? Because it happens with friends and it does happen with family. And I really hate the narrative that people try to like be like, oh, but that's your family. You guys have to stick together no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like just to get personal too, like when it came to my brother, and it was like, but that's your brother. You always have to be there for him because his family was like, damn, family relation didn't mean shit.
Yeah.
When he did this to me or this to me, right? Like y'all weren't saying that, it's just like super weird. And it's interesting to know that went on with you. But do you think that the business is to blame that tarnished your relationship with your family?
No, I don't think it's the business. It's again, at the end of the day, it's our values and how we align.
Okay.
And I'll just be transparent.
Yes, please.
The last thing that was ever said to me was, Austin, you're stupid for leaving this company. And I asked, like, well, why?
Yeah.
And they said, because it's all going to be yours one day anyways. And I said, well, that's where you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's going to be split between us.
Right.
And it was like the instant word or the first thing that was said to me, like the rebuttal to that was, well, I'll just sell you my half. And I'm like, that's not what I'm in this for. Right. And, we were young. He was young.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's matured now.
Right.
And he's got his own family and doing his own thing. And I'm sure they're doing great things.
Yes.
Again, it's just a portion of my life. And I don't mind being transparent about that because it's molded me into the person I am today. But when things like that are said, that's a total, like, my mindset wasn't to buy out my own family member.
Right.
Like, I wanted to grow with my family.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't want to build a business just to have to buy somebody else.
Right.
So that's where I was like,
yeah,
this is.
No, most definitely. Do you think that at some point you need to have a conversation about it with him?
I don't feel like I need to have a conversation about it because it's not something that's sitting here weighing on my shoulders every day.
Yeah. You got other shit going on.
I got more important things going on in my life. I've got things that I don't need that drama in my life.
Yes.
Now, if he wanted to come have a conversation and own up to some of the things that were said, because I have never said a bad thing.
Yeah.
About
not even
him
on this show. He didn't even come on the public affair and say nothing. Yeah,
we can have a little conversation right here.
I'll be sitting here in the background like, oh shit, white people are fighting on my show.
But like, it's one of those things that my it put a big strain between my dad and my stepmom.
Oh, I see.
Or between us three.
Okay.
And I've got kids, so they've got grandkids, right? So it made like Christmas and things like really awkward.
Yeah.
And I had to. Our relationship is now much better.
I see.
My parents turned the business over to him.
Okay.
So they're completely out of the industry now.
Yeah.
You know, and so it separates them.
Oh, okay.
And so we now have a relationship that we're working back towards, and we're good.
Yeah,
we're good
that's
now.
Good. That's good. Yeah.
And I want to keep it that way because I mean, I got kids, you know, and they're the grandkids. And so, you know, it was their decision that they made to do what they did.
Right.
You know, and whether it was yes or no, and to give the company to him.
Yes.
You know, that was their decision.
That's what they
and
are
I
doing.
respect that.
But you know, but at the same time, you're bossed up in your own companies. You have like 100 other fucking companies that you're trying to worry about.
Like I said, it was the best no I ever received.
Yeah, for sure. You know? It's like, what do they call those? Blessings in disguise, right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy how things just turn around. And so you know what? It's so interesting that you mentioned all that. And sometimes I often think that in situations like that, it's the money that's to blame and it's the business that's to blame. But for you, it seems like it was a lot more personal. I mean, your fatherhood was attacked, your character was attacked, and I've never known you to be a bad person. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Hopefully one day you guys can go ahead and move on and stuff like that.
Well, like I said,
you have moved on.
I moved on.
You've moved on. There's nothing for you to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Jeez, Austin. You know, okay, so you know, again,
you know how much drama this is going to start? Oh,
gosh. Listen. Oh God, as long as they're not in my DMs. Trying to fuck me up because I don't know why you guys listen. I don't know why these bitches come on my show, talk all your shit, and then everybody wants to fuck me up for it. Like, what did I do?
What'd you do?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, I don't
listen, they're either gonna attack you for, oh my God, why'd you go on that gay guy show and let him ask you about being gay on the low, or what the fuck were you talking to him about? And now we're gonna whoop his ass, and he better, or I would take down that episode. We're gonna sue you.
Yeah.
And everything that Austin said was alleged.
Well, but at the same time, like I just want to reiterate for the audience out there, I have never said one bad word about this person.
No, he hasn't.
And you know, good people.
Is he married? Is he married? Maybe he.
Yeah, he's married. He's got a family and kids.
Okay, I often think that guys like you guys just need a little bit of spice in your life, and
you know, it's just hey, different people, two different ways.
I just wonder if it's that guy that I saw on the street. It can't be.
Who?
The guy that I saw with Montgomery construction.
No,
yeah, tell him what's up.
No,
Are you friends with him?
Was he white?
Yeah.
White guy?
Yeah.
Skinny?
I don't know. He looked like he had tats.
Yeah, I know who.
Do you know who he
exactly
is? Is he single? Is he single?
Yeah. No.
I think I need to go for something different because I've said I was going to make lunch for a construction working Mexican man, but maybe I need to make lunch for some white dude, right?
Yeah, maybe so.
So I changed his fucking life around, right? Okay. He'd be like, what is this?
I know, dude, I'm reaching out to this person after
Please do. But no, I want to see a picture first though, because if it's some ugly ass dude, I don't want to fuck with it. Okay, okay, listen, God, Austin, okay, we are, unfortunately, we're running out of time. No, we're good. But do tell him that I want to slide in his DMs though, because if he's from Lorena like you are, is he?
No.
I was gonna say it. Like,
Gville.
What?
Gatesville.
Oh yeah.
If it's the person I'm thinking of, I think he's from Gatesville.
Okay, well then I've fucked a couple guys from Gatesville, so he's for sure. Listen, I fucked them from everywhere, Austin. I don't discriminate because it's the country guys that be the most curious. It's true. You know, I went to Mexico. I've said this story on the show, so I don't want to harp on it. But I went to my best friend's hometown in Mexico. And it's like a small ass Pueblo town, and I was my gay. I messed around with somebody over there just for like a little 10 minutes. You know, it was nothing. It was innocent. You know, and oh my God, it was the talk of fucking town. It was the best thing ever. Yeah, and so I want to be the talk of Lorena, so that way the public affair could just kind of
scroll on over there.
Okay, so first of all, before we go, I want to give you a big congratulations. You just opened your own podcast studio, okay? And now you have your own podcast that's about to come out that you just recorded the trailer for. And can you talk to us a little bit about that and what it's about and what your inspiration was for that?
So I started an event 2 years ago, or a year ago. It's called the Growth Encounter, right?
Yes.
And it's, you know, we all experience growth.
Yes.
I have experienced a ton of growth in my life.
Yes.
And it's how you receive it and how you execute on it, right?
Absolutely.
You can go through something in your life and it's a growth event, and it's like you're either going to accept it and roll with it, or you're going to lay over in the fetal position, right? And like it depends.
There's nothing wrong with that. I've had to lay on my back for lots of things.
It's all up to you. And so I wanted to start. Dude, I'm so different than everybody here in town, and I get so much shit for it.
Really?
Yeah, like because I post so much on social. I have people that don't like me for the simple fact of how much I post on social media.
Like you're annoying.
Well, no, they're just like I just don't agree with what he says. You know, I don't like the things he says.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting out there honest stuff, and you know what? Really, it's just a reflection in them.
Yeah.
They're like,
oh yeah,
man, I really should be doing that, but I don't want to.
They're envious.
Yeah.
That's what happens when
Being
you
a
become
little
an
bitches about
entrepreneur. Yeah, they are.
You know.
Listen, yeah, believe me, I know. It was 3 years. I've been in media for a damn decade, all right?
Yeah. And so, like, I started the Growth Encounter.
Yes.
My first event had like 20 people, which was, I hear like that's pretty good to have 20 people at your first event.
Yeah.
And then I put on an event, like just a pop-up event. I did it within a week. And I had like some big speakers there. Like the main speaker there, he usually gets paid anywhere from like $50,000 to $70,000 per an event.
Okay.
To speak at events.
Did you pay him $57,000?
Nah, he came for free.
Oh, he came for free.
Yeah.
How humble.
Yeah, because him and I, and it's because the relationships I've built with people.
Yes, for sure.
And he was like, hey man, if you put on this event, I'll come speak at it.
Yeah.
And I had a week to put it on, and I had like 60 to 70 people there.
That's what's up.
And man, like I want to bring like a new era of people and how we do business. It's so cutthroat around here in Waco. People are like trying to backstab each other. You know, they act friends to your face, especially when you're in the same business.
Yeah.
But then they, you know, when you get away from each other, they're like talking shit behind your back. Like, dude, get this. I'm a roofing company, right? I own my own roofing company.
Yes.
And I invited, I can't tell you how many roofing companies to my event, which is a business and growth minded event.
Yes.
Like they could have networked with people and gotten business from my event, right?
For sure.
None of them came, but I had 3 different roofing companies from San Antonio, Dallas, and somewhere else to come to my event.
Does that, do you take that personal?
I take it personal because I'm like, I'm not out here to get you, man. Like, I want to help. I had salespeople from other roofing companies reach out to me. They're like, man, we really want to come to your event.
Right.
But our boss won't let us.
Wow.
Because it's me.
Because it's you. Yeah.
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 You know, and it's, I own a roofing company. It's so dumb. You know, and I just don't understand it.
You know, and I like that you get that perspective because it sounds like, listen, I've had a lot of people on the show that say that they don't feel like they get the support from the city that they're entitled to, or whatever the case is. Thank God, listen, you know, Waco really does fuck with the public affairs. So I'm very grateful for that. You know what I mean? But I understand how in business I feel like there is a natural competitiveness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you want to be the best podcast. You want to be the best roofing company. But when I agree with you, a lot of people, I've met them when I was in radio too. I worked with a radio DJ who was like, I'm not going to teach you anything because I don't want you to be better than me.
Yeah.
Which now, you know, I don't know where he's at anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, you know, and so I wondered if you take things like that personal though, because, you know, it does seem like, you know, you have everything with good intentions. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. How do you go on to change the narrative to get everybody to know?
You just keep doing it, man.
Okay.
You know, I just keep plugging away, and slowly, a little bit at a time, I keep gaining followers. I keep gaining people that see that, like, I had people. Dude, I charged $30 to come to my event, and that included lunch. Yeah, like tickets to the event that I put on are usually $100 to $300 per ticket.
For sure.
And so I was like, all right, $30, y'all freaking come. And I had some people there like, man, is it really worth the $30 or $60 or 30? Like that. $30. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
And then after the fact, they're like, man, you should have charged way more money. I'm like, if I would have charged more money, you wouldn't have came. You damn sure wouldn't have came then. You know, and it's so, they think it's like a time, like, okay, when are you going to try to sell us a timeshare type thing? You know, it's not about that.
It's not about that. You're just trying to network.
It's the people. Well, it's not even networking, man. It's like trying to develop a new mindset, right? Okay. So a lot about me is what my why is.
Yes.
My why is my family and this community and people. Yes. Like my businesses, you know, it's not about money. Yes. Obviously, we need money to operate our business.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's our team and it's our employees that are in the company.
It's about the passion behind it.
Yes.
You know, everybody thinks I'm Mr. Rich over here. I'm broke like you, bitch. What are you talking about? I'm a broke bitch too. Like they don't understand the sacrifices that are behind this.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where your podcast comes in. Yep. The growth.
Yep, the growth encounter.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I almost said the growth encounter. Yeah. I didn't want to get it wrong on camera. Okay, so the growth encounter. Okay, so that's what you're going to be focused on is changing the mindset of local entrepreneurs, business owners.
And it's not just entrepreneurs.
Oh, okay.
It's everybody in life. So, you know, like I've got, you know, Haley Cowan, the UFC fighter.
Oh, yes,
She's from Waco.
Yes.
She's going to come on. Like I would want people like you because you've encountered growth in your life, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And how did you handle it? And I have like a list of questions, and it's just gonna naturally progress into rabbit holes, right?
Listen, whenever you're ready for me to come on, I'm coming.
All right.
You already know I'm there.
Yep.
I'm there. Like
I'll send you the Calendly link.
I'm gonna make a Calendly link. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And you dudes that all want to get a piece of this diamond mine are gonna have to make a fucking appointment on and watch up and make it as me dry as fuck. Like
you're gonna have like a year booked out.
No, I just want to say I'm very proud of you, Austin. You know, like it's crazy to look at us. 15, 16 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we were just two high school kids in the school bus going to fucking ninth grade. You know what I mean? And we just bossed up, and I'm just so happy to see that you're doing well. I was so happy to get reconnected with you because I never forgot about you.
Right.
You know, I never did drugs or anything like that.
Right,
so I remember every fucking thing. Oh yeah, I remember every fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I remembered you, and when we got reconnected, and I just want to say I'm just so happy that you came here on the Public Affair.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you wanted to be a part of this.
I like watching the progression that you've had.
Thank you.
You know, and it brings something different to Waco.
Yeah.
You know, you are different, right? And I'm different.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, and I feel like that's where we connect is because we're trying to bring different things to Waco.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not locally accepted sometimes.
You know what? For me, I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
And everybody just fucks with it.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is because, again, I've been in media.
Yeah.
A lot of them become temporarily successful by pulling the wool over everybody's eyes and giving you this perception of who they want you to think they are.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I've been a slut since episode 1 of the Public Affair.
Right.
And now I get booked for hostings. I will say, I've had so much more opportunity with the Public Affair than I did with 5 years in radio.
Yeah.
So much more doors have opened for me.
Right.
And I think a lot of it I was just genuine. I'm nice to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When somebody says they love the show, I say thank you. Things like that go a long way.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and you have to be, man. And that's
very grateful.
And I try to tell all business owners, like, you need to be on social media. You need to be posting like once a day, at least minimum.
At the very least.
You know?
My very good friend, Ziad Halabi, told me you have to become obsessed with the Public Affair. I post that shit until you got annoyed with me. Yeah. Still to this day. You know what I mean? I'm gonna introduce you to my roofing sponsor.
You post like every day.
Oh, I post every day. Like,
you have to.
It's tiring too. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes like
I get it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you got to.
But you have to know that I have the Public Affair.
Yeah.
And you guys have to know that his podcast is coming out right now. The Growth Encounter.
Yep.
I don't know why I keep wanting to fuck that up. Where can we find the Growth Encounter? When is it coming out? All that.
So I've got it on Facebook right now. The Growth Encounter.
It's on Facebook.
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
Perfect.
And then I'm gonna post all my stuff there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post. I'm a Facebook person.
Oh, I'm into that. Okay.
You know,
it's easily accessible.
Easily accessible.
Yes.
And then we'll put like clips on Instagram and stuff like that, and TikTok and everything.
Now, if I ever have the pleasure of coming onto the Growth Encounter, I want you to definitely just lay it on me. Okay. I'm not holding back on your show. Okay. I don't want to get your show canceled either.
We ain't getting canceled.
Okay.
I'll never get canceled.
Yeah. Okay. So what's next for you? We got the Growth Encounter. You're doing the roof company. You have a plethora of businesses. When do you have time to be Austin the Family Man?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day.
Yeah.
I mean, every day I make it a point that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some very few times that I'm out of town and that I'm traveling and that I've got work to go do and stuff like that.
Definitely.
But if my son's got a game, I'm going to make sure they get back to the game, right? If my daughter's got a dance or whatever she may be doing, then I'm going to make sure that I'm back for it. I may miss a handful, but the majority of the time I'm there. Like, I'm usually home every night.
Wow.
I'm usually not scheduling things to interfere with that.
Right.
I will, like I said, it's not never.
Yeah.
But I make it a point that I'm with my family all the time. I'm either coaching a game or I'm doing something.
That's good. There's no excuse for other dudes and
no
women.
Excuse.
All right. That's
absolutely
it. None excuse. All right.
Like, because at the end of the day, what are we doing this for, right? You know, a lot of people, and I call their bullshit. They say, well, I'm doing this for my family. Mm-hmm. Bullshit, because if you were doing it for your family, you'd be home every day. Mm-hmm. You would be home and making that time for your family. You know, a lot of people say that, hey, I'm doing this for my family so they have something one day.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you know, your kids don't give a shit what you leave them.
Yeah.
Your kids care about the time that you gave them when they were kids.
Austin's got some powerful words on the Public Affair. This has been super inspirational.
Yeah.
Definitely a different direction in my other episodes where we just get drunk and talk about butt sex.
See, and this is like this is the thing that I like to bring, right?
Yes.
You know, I like to bring what's real, what's what's different in the business world.
That's all I ask for you to do on the Public Affair. So thank you again so much for coming onto the show. I truly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing the successes that you're going to bring with your podcast, with all your companies. Anytime you need anything, you just call. And if you do an event and you want me to go, please. And I'll speak. You know, I MC events too. I'll do it. And we're going to go out there. We're going to make it super fun. Mimosas and tacos all day. We're going to turn the fuck up. Okay?
I'm down for it.
Austin, thank you again so much for coming onto the Public Affair. For everybody that tuned in, thank you guys again so much for watching this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe before we go. I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of my very loyal, awesome sponsors of the Public Affair. Of course, the Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez, located at 3304 Franklin Avenue. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training with elite skills training to make your kids superb star athletes, because they are training with only professionals. That's right. Open play on Mondays and Wednesdays for ages 16 and older. Follow on Facebook at Soko Soccer Academy, on Instagram at Soko Soccer 254. And they also have a big soccer field that they're building. They're going to start having leagues, summer leagues, everything. You guys stay tuned. Follow their Facebook page at Soko Soccer Academy for more details. Congratulations to you guys for all your successes. Thank you so much for being longtime supporters of the Public Affair. Of course, to Jeffrey Montreal, home for all your LED needs and auto accessories with Boil Box and audio, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. He's definitely a jack of all trades. He put that 5% tint on my car. And that's why I can't see anything in the house. Mind your business if you see the car on the side of the road in Lorena, all right? Your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. To Jeffrey Montreal, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the Public Affair, Oil Box and Audio. To my very good friend, Mr. Jesus Sanchez from Mart, Texas, Brothers Roofing and Remodeling. He's a roofer. I want you to get connected with him. He's super awesome. From Mart. And I think it's so hot that somebody from Mart, Texas watches the Public Affair. He's a small construction business from Mart, specializing in general roofing needs and so much more. Protect your home from the crazy elements of Texas weather with his high quality and affordable work. And he also has financing options as well, because that work is not cheap. Austin, you know that work is not cheap. Okay, it gets a little bit expensive, but he has financing options for you guys to go ahead and make sure it's affordable for you. Follow on Facebook and call the number on the screen to Brothers Roofing and Remodeling with Jesus Sanchez. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the Public Affair. Of course, the Fat Boy Michelada and Botana with my boy Junior Banda, which if you haven't had it, I mean, it's in South Waco and your office is in South Waco. Have him fucking deliver to you. Okay,
I'm always in South
Waco. Just call the number on the screen. Okay, call the number on the screen. He provides the best Michelada and Botana plates for yourself or for a party with a menu of ton of different items, including Botana, bows, chamois, pickles, and more, locally operated, so make sure you get the best and not the rest. Follow on Facebook and Instagram at Fatboy Michelada y Botana. Place your order now. To Junior Banda, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, I want to give an honorable mention to my girl Ana Limones with Hummingbird Party backdrops and decor. Call for all party decor, including beautiful balloon props, giving an extra flair to that party or even, balloon arches are in right now. If you have a party, listen, Ana has got you. Okay, call the number on the screen. Oh, she also has wooden backdrops and so much more. Basically, for all your party decor, you got to hit my girl Ana Limones. She's going to hook it up, okay? Baby showers, quinceañera, anything. She's got you. Call the number on the screen to book. Ana Limones, thank you so much for supporting the Public Affair. I truly appreciate you, girl. You are the GOAT. To everybody that tuned into this episode, I've got more of the Public Affair on the way. Thank you guys again for all your continued support. To my very special guest, Mr. Austin Montgomery, thank you again for coming on the Public Affair. And I look forward to making a very, very slutty cameo on his podcast, The Growth Encounter. And of course, on his show as well, we're going to always keep it between us. That's it.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.